From our Brookfield studios here in Freetown, hello and a pleasant welcome to the national news file for today here on Star Television Network on Channel 21. I am Hassan Kouma, and first the headlines. First Lady Madam Fatima Bio launches special advocacy campaign for Northerners, expressed concern over the poor road condition in Bombali districts.
In fact, when there's a road maintenance, not to forgo look road the way you see don't dangerously you begin the fixer so that we not go begin a disaster then at this country. Me no say President Bio definitely not the see road where they go Makini. He say let them no fix them.
Citizens of Bo district celebrate Minister of Energy Alhaji Kanja Sisay. One of the contenders for the position of Secretary General for the APC party, lawyer Adi Macaulay, calls on members of the public to judge people on their past record rather than putting a slur on their utterances.
I went back and said, okay, let me see what this man has done in the past 30 years in his life to be able to judge him. You cannot just use one event to judge someone. And when you consider that his wife is Mendy from Fujian.
And in sport, the Sierra Leone beat volleyball men and women team depart the shores of Freetown to Morocco for the ongoing Cup of African Nations Beach Volleyball Championship. All these stories plus more lined up for you in today's edition of the Star National News. Those were the headlines. It's now time for the news in details. I am Hassan Kouma. The First Lady, Madam Fatima Bio, has launched a special advocacy campaign for the people of the Northern following her recent visit to Makeni over the weekend and expressed concern over the poor road condition of the main highway spanning from Berry Junction through Makoth onto Makeni in the Bombali district. George Elliott Sam reports.
The First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Dr. Fatima Mada Bio, has launched a special advocacy campaign for the people of the Northern Province. Following her current visit to Makeni over the weekend, Madam Fatima Jabi Bio expressed grave concern over the poor condition of the main highway spanning from the Berry Junction through Matoy onto Makeni in the Bombali district. She directs a special and urgent appeal to the Sierra Leone Road Authority and the Road Maintenance Fund, urging the authorities to take prompt action to review the poor condition of the road, which currently pose serious threat to lives and properties. The potholes are scary and life-threatening, and we cannot wait for the worst to happen to our northern people before we take actions, she asserts, while re-echoing that the people of the North occupy a special place in her heart and that of her husband.
Hello, everybody. Anyway, I not say what they can't talk about. Some people they get for happy, some people they not get for happy. But where you see reality, you get for talk. Yesterday, I traveled for go Makeni for attend something day, but then something come to me notice. I see from Mabele roundabout till reach inside Makeni town. Now big pothole the day way they on the road we so dangerous, we really dangerous for any vehicle, for any passenger vehicle. So I know you understand this road maintenance people then. I don't know if na road maintenance now bar, if na SLR bar. In fact, when there's a road maintenance, not to forgo look road the way you see don't dangerously you begin the fixer so that we not go begin a disaster then at this country. Me no say President Bio definitely not the see road where they go Makini. He say let them no fix them. So please, una go fix that road there for the people them. For the one the way then they pass and it is really dangerous. And this there is no politics in this, and I not even want for no self if we una turn and back and make politics then in our young problem that one day. At the big road maintenance fund, SLR Duya from Mabele Junction. If I not get the name right, now forgive me. Berry Junction. From Mabele Junction till reach Makut, the last stone for enter inside Makeni. The holes then are big no more than the big. And you know one left until it turn to gutter before you do something about her. So dear, big. And I understand saying I wrote down one day where them be already get to a contractor where claim say be non-doer. Mr. Contractor, I don't know you name here too, but you are big. Go fix that road day. Let you know endanger people in life and not give people in trouble in this country. Now beg would they beg you. From Mabele Junction, till go inside Makeni, all them big pothole them where they all over the place. Them pothole them. Now make them say road maintenance. Do you beg una go maintenance people road? Now beg me the beg una for God and Anabi. Please. Do ya? I don't know if na una, I don't know if na SLR, but whoever. Una go fix the road and it's very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. Now road and the way go cause disaster if una no go do something about her.
For Star News in Freetown, George Elliott Sam reports.
The Minister of Energy, who doubles as the ruling Sierra Leone People's Party Southern Region Chairman, Alhaji Kanja Sise, has been given a rousing homecoming welcome with thousands of supporters thronging the streets of Bo, crediting him for bringing sustainable electricity supply in the city. Alfred Barry takes up the story.
The streets of the second capital, Bo, was awash with party faithfuls, clouded in a beguiling SLPP colors to give a rousing welcome to the Minister of Energy, who doubles as the Southern Region Chairman for the SLPP. The enthusiastic supporters credited Alhaji Kanja Sise for providing sustainable energy to the city. In his short address to his jubilant supporters, the minister reiterated President Bio's commitment in transforming the country, noting that the SLPP is poised to win the next general election emphatically.
I can tell you that plenty thank you for all the show of love on show during the period when I've been feeling well. Some of the people there are not living for members, they're all. But I was thinking that in the Battle Sonia and Dr. Abbas Mondo, and we are ambassador in Germany, where they take the time to work for energy, and many other people. Then the one that would not be able to forgo, will be they send me WhatsApp messages, will be they call me all the time. I want to tell you that plenty thank you. Today, like I said, the message is small. Just come for granted now, all plenty thank you for that show of love. But also, before I come, I want to let you see, I've been going to President Bio and then I say I come on this trip line and ask her if you get any message for me. The message go meet her and say I didn't bring that to her for letting her day. What you meet her and say I can't tell you. I say SLPP, what do we know for? What they looking for? Unity. Now let us all come together. Let us unify. Once we get together, there is no way we see the victory. Let's talk about things quickly. One, Unami family Manigo Ine. At the bed Una join the party. Una join the party. Launa help from the unity Ghana SLPP. Unity now Ghana SLPP. Una want no division. We don't let say over the years. If SLPP we can't together no more. No way, no day. We're APC the CEO in this country. Enough possible. So that unity day, at the big now all camp. Number two, Unami family Madigo there, and everybody in Abo, and everybody in the southern region. Do ya that critical moment they cancel? Won't have time for registration. What the time reach for registration? And they beg, I will not come also today. That's all not come back. For go register with it. For go register with it. So that when you see you register 2023, no runoff.
30 minutes in Freetown, Alfred Barry reporting.
One of the contenders for the position of Secretary General for the main APC party, lawyer Adi Macaulay, has called on members of the public to judge people on their past records rather than putting a slur on their utterances. He spoke to Abdurrahman Kamara in this interview on why members of the public should not regard Dr. Samura Kamara's statement as utterly tribalistic. Here is the interview.
I'm going to look at Dr. Samuel, looking at who he is as a person and as an individual. He is someone that I became very close to when I started representing him, from the commissions of inquiry up to the current case, before Justice Adrian Fisher on, anti-corruption charges. What I see before me is a gentleman. And, I think, as I said, let us judge people. Look at his history. Look at his actions. And I was quite, I went back and said, okay, let me see what this man has done in the past 30 years in his life to be able to judge him. You cannot just use one event to judge someone. And when you consider that his wife is Mendy from Fujian, whom, by the way, I understand that he met in Bo, because, from his biography, he attended St. Andrews Secondary School, UCC, in Bo, in the heartland of Mendy country, and that is where he met his Mendy wife. And they have children. And those children, biologically, have Mendy DNA. So if we are saying that he's a Mendy hater, he's a bigot, are we saying that he's practicing self-hate? He hates his wife? He hates his children? I don't think so. As I said, it is for people to judge. But I am looking at the person and the individual. And I will say that I don't think he's a bigot. And you go back to his professional life. He has mentored people, as I came to understand, who are from ethnic extracts that are different from his. Today, we cannot name names, but most of those guys that he mentored, who are from a different tribe from his, are leading, figures in the Ministry of Finance today. And he usually talks very proudly of how he works, his method of operation is based on competence. It doesn't see tribe, it doesn't see gender, it doesn't see any of those. What comes to mind is what are you made of? Can you deliver? And one of his theme, I read quite a lot of the literature of most of the flag bearer contenders. For him, I was talking to him the other day, and he said to me, Adi, for me, I will practice zero tolerance of discrimination. Zero tolerance. Regardless of your tribe, regardless of your religion, regardless of your gender, what I look for is competence. And that is the Dr. Samuel Kamara I see.
The Milton Magai Technical University on Tuesday, 26 July, continued with its Solid Adams Public Lecture Series on the topic Understanding the District Block Representation System and Proportional Representation at the Great Hall of the Goderich Campus in Freetown. George Elotsam was there. He now reports.
The Milton Magai Technical University on Tuesday, 26 July 2022, continued with its Solid Adams Public Lecture Series on the topic Understanding the District Block Representation System or the Proportional Representation at the Great Hall of the Goderich Campus in Freetown. Dr. Julius Spencer, former Minister of Information, poet and playwright, revealed that the PR system means changing from the district block representation winner-take-all system, that the current political system is divisive, that the country is almost in the middle of moving towards ethnicity. Politicians flame the flames of ethnicity, and politics has now become a do-or-die battle and the surest way to get wealth, while the majority of the people are not served and that the people think they have no stake in governance, lamenting that everything in the country is now politicized.
Those who lose elections, they spend the next 5 years trying to make those who won look bad, trying to make them fail so that they will lose the next elections and they will win. Those who win the elections spend the duration of their term
planning how they will win the next elections. That's what they focus on. Most of what they do, even in terms of development activities, are aimed at winning them votes. Therefore, as a people, we are not able to focus on the things that are for the common good, the things that will help all of us. We are divided. Some people want the government to fail, some people want the government to succeed. So we are not all working together. Now everything is politicized nowadays. In fact, you say something critical, they are immediately branded. You are in the opposition. So your views do not count. And therefore, as I said, we can't focus on national development issues. Now it is against this background that I believe the winner-take-all, which is what we are practicing, the winner-take-all system, otherwise called the first-past-the-post system, is not good for us. Now, what is the winner-take-all system? What are the characteristics? Now, the person with the highest number of votes wins. Everybody else loses.
In his presentation, the former chairman of the National Electoral Commission, NEC, Mohamed Umfa Ali Conte, commended the government of President Julius Maada Bio for transforming the institution to a technical university, clarified that he is not a politician, that an electoral system is the arrangement by which votes are cast, that Sierra Leone electoral system stemmed from its colonial past, and also politicians choose the electoral system that works for them, considering social factors like the civil war. He went on to reveal that there are inherent advantages of the PR system. Recall that in 2002, the entire country was one constituency, and that the district block system is very unique to the country, that the number of votes are divided by the number of seats in parliament.
Now, the term electoral system, that's the definition. The term electoral system has been defined as the rules according to which voters express their political preference and according to which it is possible to convert these votes into parliamentary seats. Please note that. That's what we call an electoral system. You go and vote. How do we convert your votes into seats? That's what we call proportional representation. How do we convert? How does the Chief Electoral Commissioner and his commission, how do they convert your seats, your votes, into seats in Parliament? That's what we call an electoral system. In short, this is my own definition. An electoral system refers to the electoral arrangement by which elections are conducted in the country and the votes cast are translated into parliamentary seats won by political parties.
The Vice Chancellor and Principal of the Milton Magai Technical University, Professor Dr. Philip John Kanu, enlightened that the Sholade Adams Public Lecture Series is in honor of the first African principal of the institution, and that it is prudent for the university to discuss critical national issues and profound solutions to be cascaded to the people.
The title will be the best way for people to understand the main aim, understanding the proportional representation of the block, district block system. When it came up a few weeks ago, it became a very sensitive topic within Sierra Leone. And as an academic, as an educational institution, we think it will be very prudent for us to call experts so that they will be able to explain it for people to understand what is the proportional representation, the different types that we have, because in some countries they have it there. But this particular system it is divided into various types. So we wanted the people to know, because what we know about proportional representation, we just think that the only system that is in the proportional representation is the aspect of the party selecting names for people.
The highlight of the event were the questions and answer sessions and a vote of thanks by a student. For Star TV News in Freetown, George Elliott Sam reporting.
The Executive Director of Native Consortium and Research Center, Edmond Abu Jr., has called on the Petroleum Regulatory Agency to reduce the pump price of fuel to 15,000 litres per litre. A reduction in noted is quintessentially proportional to the 30% drop in the price of oil per barrel in the world. Alfie Barry reports.
Edmond Abu Jr., one of the country's foremost civil society activists who has carved a niche for himself by mastering the modus operandi in the petroleum sector, has issued a clear call to the Petroleum Regulatory Agency to reduce the pump price of fuel to 15,000 per litre, which he noted is quintessentially commensurate to the current price in the global markets. Adding that it was wholly untrue when the PRA boss Balua Kuruma stated in one of the interviews that the price of fuel has dropped by 9% as opposed to 30%, which he maintained is a true picture.
However, that particular reduction is disproportionate, it is insignificant and does not reflect on the transport price. We are seeing the PRA is putting out information that the reduction in the world market is 9%. That is totally flawed and untrue. The reduction that has taken place in the world market is more than 30%. Mark you, the fuel price, at the time when the price was at $65, $70 per barrel, we used to sell at 10,000 euros or 10 euros per liter. That is prior, before the Russia invasion into Ukraine. That was like February, March. Now, when the invasion started, and then there was a surge in the world market price, which affected everything, all over. You understand? And the price jumped. It went to the highest of the high. It went to as high as $140 per barrel at the height of the conflict. And that was the time we saw a progressive increment from 10 to 12,000, from 12,000 to 15,000, 15,000, 18,000, and then finally we went to about 22,000 euros per litre. Now the price of fuel has plummeted in the world market ever since Joe Biden started to tour to the Gulf states. And
the Executive Director of Native Consortium and Research Center further deplored the Ministry of Trade and Industry for what he called the lackluster strategy, adding that refining costs and freight costs is relatively stable in the global market, which by logical extension should inform the price. He added that the country needs to latch on the opportunity of the country being removed from the blacklist on the International Shipping Agency.
The minister is making statements like, oh, the supply chain, there is disruption. There is nothing like disruption in the supply chain management, with the exception of the coronavirus, global pandemic. There are two things on the supply chain, two chiefly drivers. One, the refining cost, and then the freight. The transportation of the cost of transporting the fuel from the high seas or from Togo or from whatever, because we are buying the refined product. So our port here, that's the transport, that's what they call the freight. So these are the two, and these costs are relatively constant. It does not increase or decrease with the world market price. So what is this refining cost now? So to us, that is completely flawed also. So we are saying, let this go on record. Our advocates, we are advocating that the pump price of fuel be reduced to at least 16,000 or 15,000 euros per litre.
In another separate development, Edmond Abu Jr. equally lashed at Dr. Samura Kamara, accusing him of spewing tribal slander, which he admonished the presidential hopeful to withdraw and apologize.
If he failed to withdraw, then that statement will likely eat him, because we don't have no space for a man like that in our body politics. And some of us will continue to call him out, some of us will continue to condemn him to the strongest voice for him to understand that he should never make such a statement. Mark you, almost all of the APC leaders I have known from 1968, all their wives are Southeasterners. All of them. Talking of the Sheki, S.I. Kroma, Momo, C.A. Kamatelo, former President Kroma, his wife is a Kono. She's not a Northerner. So what's this big deal? So for me, to be honest, he's a good man. On a clear flank note, he's a good man. But sometimes people play on their base.
For Star TV News in Freetown, Alfred Barry on the news.
In case you're just joining us, you're still watching the Star National News here on Star Television Network. On Channel 21, I am Hassan Koroma. Sierra Leone international model and former housemate salon contestant Lolo Simeon had an interactive media soiree organized by her team and Zalox at the View Lounge, Freetown City Hall on Sunday, 24 July 2022. Here is more on that update. Lolo Simeon is a top international model who has become a force of fashion modeling in Sierra Leone and abroad. Lolo, who started as a poor random model, has been able to make a name for herself and Sierra Leone in the modeling profession. During the well-attended media soiree, Lolo stretches her arms of gratitude to all who made this journey possible and thus share her experience in the just concluded AYV's Housemate Salon Season 3, which she described as one with mixed experience with some colleague housemates. It was challenging, she furthered, but her guiding principles guided her through in the house.
I also want to continue to thank AYV and Afrisel for letting you the youth them the opportunity for tell the world, tell the story, and make the world know who that we be, who that we represent, what we represent, and what we stand for. For me, I've been the reason we make that go inside housemates. And this not have been possible if I not been getting the support of my family, people that really believe and trust in me. And of course, Una we can join troopers along the way. So I want to appreciate Una all. What kept me actually going and steadfast is because I had principles. My principles actually guided me through that whole journey. I can name some few instances where I was kind of challenged, okay, by my fellow housemates. Of course, it's a game, and everybody will want to try to get at you to see, okay, how you react to certain situations. So that is what such shows are about. They want to know who you are. How can you react to bullying? How can you react to gossip? How can you react to pulling down syndrome? In a society where you live with different characters, how can you cope with these people? So, of course, in the beginning I had my lovely, my lovely Juliana, who is my queen today. You know, we know Juliana is the Yagba diva, so she has to Yagba everybody to feel the strength of every housemate. But there was a time where her words against me actually got deep into me. But there's one thing I believe is that what you say about me does not define me.
But what next for her? She explains more.
In December, I'll be hosting Mr. and Miss Best Model Sierra Leone. You guys should stay alert and be ready for the best show. But now I'm not just about me, I'm about Zalox Inc. And one Zalox interest is fashion, okay? And it's not just any kind of fashion. It's elegance, it's class, it's luxury. And of course, with Zalox, we're gonna be bringing exclusive and high fashion runway events that we're going to be hosting not only in Sierra Leone, but outside of Sierra Leone. With Zalox, I will tell you, I don't know if any other designer have been able to showcase anywhere in the world as a Sierra Leonean brand, but with Zalox, we're going to take it international.
Making a statement on behalf of Zalox, the general manager, Joshua I. Akinola, describes the ambassador Lolo Simeon as a vibrant queen that stood out from the other contestants in the house, and that they as an entity feels proud to have her as their brand ambassador. She will be presented with her car in September as she won the Zalox Challenge in the house.
Lolo Simeon happened to be one of the contestants of the housemates, and for me, she stood out. It's one thing for you to find yourself enclosed in an environment where there's negativity, there's positivity, you could easily be influenced. It's one thing for you to be able to maintain who you are and maintain it through till the end. I was privileged to monitor views, comments, and all that on social media, and I don't think there was anyone that didn't say, "Oh, she stands out. She's an intellectual. She's a woman of dignity. She's got virtue." You understand? God so did it. She won the Zalox Challenge. And like we've announced, in September she will be presented with her car. And for Zalox, it's not just about the car. She's going to be an ambassador for a year. For me, it's the impact she's able to create in a year.
Her Worship the Mayor of the Freetown Municipality, Madam Yvonne Akisoya, was in attendance. She congratulated Lolo on her journey and commended her for planning to give back to the young talents in her home country. Lolo Simeon is the CEO and founder of Fashion to Empower Sierra Leone and Let Our Children Dream Foundation, which organize fashion events and competitions including Mr. and Miss Best Modern Sierra Leone, runway fashion shows, and many more, and also help children to believe in themselves as they can dream big and achieve good things. On the other hand, Zalox is into a variety of businesses ranging from fashion, entertainment, and many more. The media soiree was climaxed with celebrating cutting of cake with members from corporate institutions, ex-housemates, family members, and many more loved ones. For Star TV News in Freetown, Hassan Koroma reporting. Rounding up, let's turn our attention to the sporting world, where the Sierra Leone beach volleyball men and women team have departed the shores of Freetown to Morocco for the ongoing Cup of African Nations Beach Volleyball Championship. Let's join Elton John, our sports reporter, for more on the sporting updates.
One of the best sporting discipline in the country, the Sierra Leone Volleyball Association men and women beach volleyball team has departed the country for Morocco to compete in this year's Cup of African Nation Beach Volleyball Championship that has already begun and will end on the 1st of August 2022. The team departs with Air Morocco in the morning hours of Wednesday 27 July to join the other African teams for the said competition. The male team is made up of Ahmed Aruna of Young Stars Volleyball Club, champions of the just concluded Western Area Club Championship. He was crowned Most Valuable Player, the MVP, and Most Outstanding Young Player. He is making his debut with senior men's team and is expected to make an impact. His partner and long-standing player in the sand is Mohamed Karim Kamara, Starboy. Starboy has been with the beach volleyball training camp since 2018 and has made an impact on the coaching department. The duo of Gladys Marie and Binta Ba is well known in National Beach Volleyball Circle, though they represent different clubs in their partnership on the sand has been very remarkable for the past years. Speaking to Star TV Sports, according to the head coach, Sohi Kamara, maintained that he has desperate and wanted to make a showcase at this event after an absence of close to 3 years. At the effect of short and absence on his team African ranking, he stated that both teams have dropped considerable and were at a time low in the decade. Appearance was essence in spirit of the funding challenges. He is hopeful that tremendous improvements will be made on their ranking and eventually buy some experience ahead of Championship 2023. For Star TV Sports in Freetown, I am Elton John reporting.
Well, from that sporting update, this is all we have time for in today's edition of the Star National News here on Star Television Network on Channel 21. I am Hassan Koroma. Thanks for watching and do stay with us for All the very best.